You're late, Josh. Josh is early, actually. What's up, everybody? Nope. Shan, sorry. Josh was first in here. All right. It's going pretty good. Going pretty good. Flower Wine, hello. How are you? Jester, what's up? Slaughtered 1994. Yeah, dude. Oh, bruh. Rochester Metal Booking, how are you? And we have someone coming into the room. It's going pretty good. Ian, yes, it's going great. Full tutorial on Greyflower and how to play it. Wow. That will have to be a separate episode in itself because there's some pretty weird stuff in that song, guitar-wise. I'm doing good, Flower Wine. I'm doing good. Meowstress is in the house. Yes. Yes, Bukowski, what's up, bruh? Oh, yeah. Ain't got shit planned for tonight. I had a busy week, everybody, so we'll hang out with Willie. We'll hang out with Boris. I'll answer some questions if you guys want to answer some questions. Yes, it is a sweet hoodie. I would say I just got it today, actually. The obituary hoodie needs to go into the wash, if you know what I mean. Yeah, bruh. All right. Bayou Bloods end up in here? Yeah, bruh. The Ginger Metalhead said, blasting Goatwhore, hammered. Well, I'm glad you're having a good Easter. Let's see. Yeah. We have crackheads. Yeah, bruh. Yeah, bruh. What you mean, bruh? Willie and Boris are here. They're asking where Peanut is. Willie's like, where's Peanut? Where's Peanut? Willie is asking, Boris is hogging the camera, and Willie is asking where's Peanut. What you doing, bro? What's up, Will? Yeah, bro. I know what time it is. Yeah, dudes. Come on, dudes. It's treat time. Boris ate all your treats, bro. I got you, Willie. Don't worry. Yeah, dudes. Don't mind all the pedals on the floor going through freaking rigs for the fucking next weekend and playing with Crowbar, everybody. So, just I'm gonna make an announcement. Gotta say something after I'm done feeding my dudes. Yeah, bruh. Alright, that's enough, dudes. You guys enjoyed your treats? Willie, did y'all just see Boris steal Willie's treat? That's messed up, man. I got you, Willie. Don't worry about it. There you go. Boris. Boris is fucking freaking. Come on, bro. There you go. Boris is being a treat bully, everyone. Alright, don't make that face, Boris. I'll give you some. Here. This freaking Boris is being a bully, everybody. Was I'm taking over, motherfucker. Alright, y'all had enough. That's it. Alright, well, that was the excitement for the evening. Yeah, bruh. Dudes getting their nightly treats. Alright. Yeah, bro. Luna Boo, fucking Boris is a fucking cochon big time, dude. Hunter Cole, hold up. This is all getting all crazy. Let's take some questions. Alright, let's see. Slaughtered 1994 says, the beard oil is fantastic. I agree. It smells a lot better in your beard than it does in the bottle. So, shout out to Hardcore Grooming Products for my beard oil. If I'm pretty sure it's still available. There's a link in my bio if you'd like to buy some. There's only a couple left from what I understand, but I highly suggest it. But let's try another question. Johnny Mac LSU. So what's the story on the Pagan Terrorism Tactics Easter album cover? Well, you would have to ask Mr. Jack Kevorkian to elaborate on that. It's just his kind of take saying that, hey, Jesus is pretty much just like the Easter Bunny. They're both figments of your imagination. So, there you go. That's the question. Josh 5180 has a great question, and this is a long answer. So, Josh 5180 asks, how did I write Abandoned Indoctrination, which is a song, a Goatwhore song. It's on Vengeful Ascension. And he asked, basically, any Goatwhore song. Well, Abandoned Indoctrination, there's a funny story behind the way that song was written. I actually wrote that song while we were recording Constricting Rage of the Merciless. Believe it or not, because we were doing something, I think they were tracking bass at the time or tracking vocals. And I was messing around with this plug-in, this guitar plug-in in my Studio One, PreSonus Studio One recording program. So I was messing around with some guitar sounds, and I just came up with this guitar sound that it was pretty inspiring. It was based, I think it was based on like a Marshall Plexi or a Marshall J&P or something. So I was messing around with that, and then I came up with like that main kind of intro thing. And then I was just messing around, it was kind of black metal-ish sounding guitar sound. So I was messing around with that, and the riffs just kind of kept coming. It was one of those situations to where Satan was speaking through me at the time, and the music was just flowing, So that's how that song was written. Basically, I wrote it in the studio while we were recording Constricting Rage of the Merciless. So I got it home after we got home from the recording studio, and I just kind of refined it from there. And then it ended up, then I let the guys hear it, the final idea that I had, and we changed a few things because Ben had some riffs he wanted to extend to put vocals over, and that was basically it. So basically all the riffs I wrote on that song, I wrote during the recording sessions of Constricting Rage of the Merciless. And I just I had a rough idea at the time, and then I just kind of fine-tuned it when I got home and had time and decompressed and stuff. But yes, it was one of those situations where it was like I had the song basically written in half an hour. Just the how can I say it? I don't know. The song was basically written in half an hour during those sessions, and the foundation was laid, and I fine-tuned it later on, and there you have a song. So there you go. That's how that song was written. And Josh, every Goatwhore song I write is different. A lot of the times I'll sit here and I'll come up with a riff, and sometimes a second riff will pop up, or sometimes it won't. And sometimes months go by before I find that second riff to go with the one riff. So it's always different. And sometimes I'll jam with Zach Simmons in our practice room, and we'll come up with ideas like that. It's always a different process. A lot of the times it's mostly me sitting in front of my computer, plugged in to my recording software, and just kind of using Easy Drummer and just getting a rough idea of a song structure, and then fine tuning it from there, and giving the rest of the guys in Goatwhore the song, and if they have any input of what should be changed, we change it. So what? But there's different processes that we take. Most of the time, it's Friday when I'm sitting right here in this spot with a guitar in my hand in front of my computer, jamming along. Other times, I could be jamming with Zach Simmons. Other times, it could be sitting on a fucking wharf somewhere with an acoustic guitar. I've written. That's how I kind of wrote Carving Out the Eyes of God, the song. I was in Mississippi on vacation at this cabin in the fucking woods, and they had this wharf, and I brought my acoustic guitar, and luckily I brought my computer as well. And I basically wrote that whole song on acoustic guitar sitting on a wharf in Mississippi. And I just recorded the riffs real quick in my computer, and when I got home I transcribed them to a electric guitar, and there you have Carving Out the Eyes of God. So it's always different, man. You never know. You never know when Satan's going to speak to you through music. So let's take another question. Bear Amps has a question. How are you so energetic and involved after all this time? We're about the same age, and I'm dead as fuck. Well, Bear Amps, I just love what I do. That's the only answer that I can give you of why I'm so energetic and so involved after all this time, is because I love what I do. I love playing heavy metal music. I love creating heavy metal music. I love all my fans to death. And that's, not to preach or anything to you, Bear Amps, but, quitting doing drugs and drinking doesn't hurt, I've never ran into a person that was like, man, I got sober and it sucked. I'm not preaching to you. You do you. That's fine. I'm just telling you what worked for me. And I definitely noticed since I've been sober that I definitely have a lot more energy. So, but basically loving everything that I do still to this day. I still love, I'm just grateful that I'm in the situation that I'm in. Let's just put it that way. I love it. And I will do this until I physically cannot do it anymore, Bear Amps. And that's how I get my energy. I get my energy from Satan. That helps too. But thank you. That's a great question, man. Let's see what else. Bayou Lou says, what was the first Celtic Frost song you learned? Oh man, I believe it was Visions of Mortality on Emperor's Return. That was the first song I actually learned, because the first Celtic Frost song I heard was The Usurper off of Two Megatherion, and my friend had the cassette, and he wouldn't let me borrow the cassette to copy it, so I was kind of on my own, and at the time, it was kind of hard to find the Celtic Frost stuff, so the only Celtic Frost tape, that's back when you either had a tape or an album, Uh, the only tape I could find was Emperor's Return. And, you know, it opens up with Into Crypts of Rays, which is a great song. Goatwhore's covered it before. But then I heard Visions of Mortality and that opening riff where it's like... Dun, 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 dun. When I heard that, that's when I was like, all right, it's on now. And that's when I learned that song. Because that was one of the... at the time, I wasn't a very good guitarist. So that was one of the songs that I could actually figure out how to play. So Visions of Mortality by Celtic Frost was the first song I actually learned how to play. Let's see, what else? The Devil's Twerk. That's a very good question. Devil's Twerk said, what is my favorite Goatwhore merch design you guys have ever put out? My favorite Goatwhore merch design that we have put out was an all-over print of the back cover of Carving Out the Eyes of God, where it had the circle of sigils, and it had Death riding the horse with the sickle, but it was like from the top of the shirt to the bottom of the shirt. And we didn't make it for very long. We made it for like one tour. But it was this guy that we knew that would just do screen prints that would just cover the entire shirt. But that's my favorite one. Luckily I grabbed one before we sold out of them. So maybe that's a good idea for next Sunday. I might bust out my collection of old Goatwhore shirts. Would you guys be into that? Just shirts that I've collected Goatwhore shirts that I've collected over the years from all the tours, like old crazy ones that we've only made a few of. Yeah, let's do that next Sunday. But anyway, that's my favorite merch design, is the Reaper, the skeleton on the horse from the back of the Carving Out the Eyes of God cover with the circle, but it's like the whole fucking shirt. That's my favorite merch design. Thank you for the question, Cole. I appreciate it. Garrett Schnapp has a great question. Has Ben ever written any Goatwhore riffs? Actually, yes, he has written a couple of them. Even though he can't play guitar, he'll hum an idea to me, and I'm pretty good at deciphering those things. But yes, and Zach has done that as well, where Zach has hummed riffs to me, and I figured it out from what he was humming, and use them. So yes, so technically Ben has written some Goatwhore riffs by humming, and Zach as well. So yes, let's see. Garrett Schnapp, I'm going to take this one last question for you. We're going to move on to someone else. But anyway, this is a good one. It's like, what other jobs have you had besides playing music? Well, my first job was working on my father's shrimp boat. That was my first job, and that was a rough one. Then I learned how to weld, and I welded for a few years in a shipyard. That was not for me at all. I did that, and then, just like odd jobs here and there when we're off tour, just working for my landlord, doing maintenance and stuff like that. So I'm pretty handy with my hands, so I picked that stuff up pretty quick. But my two major jobs that I had was working on my father's shrimp boat and working in a shipyard, being a tacker / welder / almost killing myself millions of times. So those are the two major ones that I had, and everything else were just kind of odd jobs. I worked at a bar for a little while, just bar backing and stuff. That wasn't really for me. It wasn't really a job either. It was more like hang out, restock the coolers, wash the dishes, clean this, clean that. But, it was work. Okay. We got lots of very interesting questions. Let's go for them, man. The Dirty Boots has a question. It says, when I'm writing riffs, do you have a certain guitar for that, or you just use any guitar at hand? I just grab, as if I hear something going on up here, I'll just grab the first guitar that I see that I know that's tuned to C. But you know, a lot of the times I'll just be picking up guitars at home, and sometimes a riff will pop out just from jamming. So it's no real certain guitar, you know. I mean, I find and that, you know, if you're used to a certain guitar that you play for a while, like my number one ESP Star, that I played that thing for so long and for so many shows that I was so familiar with it, that it definitely makes it easier to get inspired on it because you're more familiar with it. But then there's other guitars you'll pick up and it just plays so great and feels good and sounds awesome, it will inspire you to write as well. So, you know, there's no real certain guitar I use to write. Like I said, if I hear something in here, I'll just grab the first guitar I see that I know is tuned correctly, and I'll start trying to flesh out the idea. Maybe I'll be playing on a Gibson Flying V and a riff will come out. It all depends, man. All right, let's see. Let's go down. God damn, we have good. Let's start at the bottom and work our way up. How about that? Who is this? Darcy Clark 94 has a question, and is, what is your favorite type of beer? And when I was drinking, my favorite beer was Amstel Light. That was my favorite, but I don't drink anymore, so I don't have a favorite beer anymore. Okay. Lamezoid has a great question. He says, am I afraid Kirk will whip my ass if I play a Crowbar riff incorrectly? No, because all I have to do is turn to him and say, hey, I was just trying something different, see if it worked out, but it didn't. So that's how I cover up my mistakes. Oh man, nah, I didn't mess up. I was just trying something different. So there you go. All right, let's see. B Wish 1987 is a great question. It says, do you chance know of what pedals Audie used, particularly on Scream of the Butterfly? On Scream of the Butterfly, he didn't really use any pedals. He used a chorus, this Digitech rack mount chorus. It was like a multi-effects Digitech thing that he had. And he had this chorus sound that he would use in that. So basically, it was a basic chorus. So I mean, you could get that sound out of any, you know, standard chorus pedal. You know, it wasn't like some magical thing. It was just a chorus pedal. Pretty standard stuff. Okay, let's see. So Rin Plu has a great question. So just a random fact. My best friend and myself made Easter dinner today blasting acid bath. It's a good way to spend your Easter is to listen to acid bath. I agree. So, let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Let's see. We got a couple of... So, Necrophyte 1 has a great question, and I have a great answer for him. He says, if Willie and Boris were in a band, what would they play? So, Boris would definitely play bass. Without a doubt. He is just definitely the bass player type. Willie would either play guitar or drums, because Willie play, I haven't posted it yet, but Willie did a pretty mean drum cover of a Burzum song. So, maybe I'll post that one day. But Willie would definitely either be playing guitar or drums. So let's see, what else? We got a good question from S Duck Me. S Duck Me. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna try to keep it down to one question per person. Do you still like your tattoos as much when you first got them? Some of them, yes, and some of them, no. Some of them have not stood the test of time very well, and some of them have stayed very beautiful. But it comes with the territory, you know. I've been getting tattoos for a very long time. Some of them didn't stand the test of time and got kind of blowed up looking, and some of them still look pretty good. So I hope that answers your question. All right. Let's go to Flower Wine Flow Sherry. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. My cats look very happy and healthy. What cat food do you give to them? They are on a urinary tract formula right now, and I've been trying a couple of different brands, but there's a certain brand they like. I forget the name of it. It's on auto ship on Amazon, so I don't really remember right now. But I got them on a urinary tract formula, and they love it, and it keeps them healthy. So, hope that answers your question. All right, Michael Francher. You've asked many questions. I'm gonna whittle it down to one. Sorry. All right, let's go with this. Michael Francher's photographer asked, "Do you think you'd ever write DSBM?" Not really. I definitely like some of the DSBM bands. Xaster is fantastic. Well, To Violate the Oblivious by Xaster is a great one. DSBM, another Xaster album that's fantastic is Telepathic with the Deceased. That's probably my favorite. The all-time DSBM album for me is Bethlehem Dictus Tina Care. If you just want to listen to that album, that's all you have to listen to as far as DSBM. But as far as I write some, not really. I prefer to write stuff that's more violent and vicious rather than depressed and sad. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Johnny McEllis, you answered your question. Let's see. John 6 Marston 6 asks, will you ever make tees and long sleeves with the original pagan terrorism tactics art? Well, I'm going to answer that question just by saying is that the pagan terrorism tactics anniversary is coming up very soon. So you never know what might pop up. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know what might show up. So anyway, let's see what else we got. The Shred Pit has a good question. What's my favorite Crowbar song? My favorite Crowbar song. Oh man, that's hard. That's a really hard question to answer. I would probably be something off the very first from off of Obedience Through Suffering. I think my favorite song is My Agony off of Obedience Through Suffering. It's probably my favorite Crowbar song or subversion off of something off of Obedience Through Suffering, because that was like the first time I heard Crowbar, and it was just over from there. And it's probably something off of those albums or something off of Oddfellows Rest. There's some really good songs on that. So it's hard to choose, man. Real hard to choose. Let's see. Let's see. Hunter Cole Bergseth? Hunter Cole Bergseth. Okay, has a great question. It says, what's the hardest riff to play live, in my opinion? And I'm assuming you're talking about Goatwhore. There's some hard ones. And one that particularly comes to mind when we play it live, that always strikes fear in my heart, is it's a goddamn verse riff from fucking Bearing Teeth for Revolt, because it's all down picking. It's all just like, it doesn't seem that hard. But when you have Zach Simmons jacked up on energy drinks, playing it faster than what's on the record, all that down picking becomes very, very difficult. And it's very easy to make that sloppy. But just because it's all down picking, that riff in particular, to me, is very, very, very difficult, because I like to have it extremely clean, and it just it's hard to do all that down picking and play it super fucking clean. So that one, believe it or not, is one of the harder ones that for me to play live. I mean, of course I can do it, but it always, like, I know this bitch is coming up and I know Zach's gonna play it faster than it's supposed to be. So that's probably one of them that I can really think off the top of my head. There's probably other ones, but Luke 10107 says, how can I worship the devil, man? I love metal and everything, but I'm Christian. I don't see how evil can inspire such light that you have. Well, Satan has spoken to me for a very long time. Satan has spoken to me since I was a child. So, I've followed this path my entire life, and I do not plan on changing it anytime soon. So, it's all in what your soul calls. There's a lot of people walking around on this planet where they're confused, and they don't feel the vibration inside them, So that's why I worship Satan, because I feel that I have a connection with him. All right, let's go on to another question. Aiden BM says, first tattoo is going to be, you like my shirt? It's fucking cats on sharks. It's fucking cats riding fucking great white sharks. You can't get any better than that. My first tattoo was this skull right here. This was my very first tattoo. So, this guy. And then we just started adding and adding and adding. So, there you go, Aiden. I hope that answers your question. All right. I can't pronounce your name. Louis Louise something, I can't pronounce it. He asked, is Tony Iommi the riff lord? And yes, he is. He started it all. So therefore, and he's still not top to this day. So therefore, he is the reigning riff king. Yes, he is. All right. Black Rose 13 asks, was welding in Louisiana heat fun? And no, it wasn't. It was a horrible fucking experience. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's unhealthy. It's fucking painful. It's not a good time. But no, that was not fun whatsoever. All right, let's go. Tristan Gaspar 34 asks, favorite live band? Some of my favorite live band would probably be Goatwhore. No, I'm kidding. Just because I've seen their shows many times. My favorite live band, some of my favorite live bands. Oh, there's so many, man. I just can't pick one. I could just, off the top of my head, Accept. Accept is a fantastic live band. Watain is a fantastic live band. Behemoth is a great fucking live band. They're always great. Man, I'm trying to think of some other ones. Alice Cooper is fantastic live. Alice Cooper is one of my favorite live. I never miss one of his shows when he plays around here because he's just fantastic live. So those are just some of them. So yes. Kid Balls asked, did I go to church this morning, sir? I went to my own church, the Church of Sammy. So yes, I guess I did. Let's see. All right, we're going to get to cook and cool this out a little bit. It's getting late. I got some fucking shit to do, so let's, I'm going to pick and choose some shit. Lord Benjamin says, Sammy, could you give my cat a birthday shout out? It's her first. Shuri, happy birthday. I hope Lord Benjamin is giving you plenty of treats. So yes, happy birthday, Shuri. Yes. All right. So many dead. So many dead. I get it. Favorite Samhain album, and my favorite Samhain album is, of course, November Coming Fire. Love that album. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite albums of all time, actually. So, yes, favorite Samhain album, November Coming Fire. Close second would have to be A Final Descent. I love that album. Just the whole Samhain catalog is great, but November Coming Fire, when I heard that record, I was just like, yeah, this is some dark stuff. But anyway, let's see. Lord Thorfinn asks, what's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you or the band while being on tour? Oh man. There's been a couple of things that happened, one time I drank a little bit too much before the show and I started the wrong song and it just wasn't good. That was pretty embarrassing. What else, man? Embarrassing stuff that's really happened. I'm pretty good at covering up when I do something really stupid. So that one pretty much just getting drunk and starting songs and fucking shit up, you know, basically. Let's see, what else? All right, Mark Graves Music asks, what acoustic guitars do I use on the Goatwhore albums? I just use that shitty Yamaha one that I got, and I just make the engineers make it sound good. It stays in tune. It doesn't sound that great, but it is what it is. It gets the job done, let's put it that way. But I wish I had the money to really buy a really nice Taylor. That would be fantastic. And either a nice Taylor or a nice Martin. One day I'm going to buy a nice Taylor or a nice Martin. But until now, it's the $300 fucking Yamaha Special. All right, Sam X Mob. Skeeter. You up in here, Skeeter? All right, Skeeter has a question. Sam X Mob is now known as Skeeter, if everybody's paying attention. So anyway, favorite non-metal record. Oh man. My favorite non-metal record, I don't know. I kind of listen to a lot of metal. So something that's non-metal. I'm trying to see if I have anything. Would be punk considered non-metal? Yeah, let's roll with that. So my favorite non-metal record would be a punk record called oh goddamn, what the fucking name of that fucking record is? Oh goodness gracious. Hold on. Damn, fucking brain farting, everybody. Non-metal record, punk record, Plasmatics. What is the name of that freaking record? New Hope for the Wretched by the Plasmatics. That's my favorite non-metal record. So I hope that answers your question. All right. Let's see. Es La Racina. I hope I'm pronouncing your name. Dude, just send me a DM on how to pronounce your last name, please. Or that name. So I can just quit fucking mispronouncing it. All right. Besides horror movies, any kind of movies that you like. Spaghetti westerns, war movies. I really like sci-fi adventure movies. Kind of like, oh goodness. Conan the Barbarian is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's not a horror movie, but it can be considered. There's a movie that I recently discovered that's not a horror movie, but it's borderline horror movie. It's like a sci-fi adventure movie from I think it's from the 60s or the 70s. It's called Turkey Shoot. I highly suggest you to check that out. All the Mad Max movies, all of them. Fucking, I love them. I'm trying to think of anything else. Comedies. I'm trying to think of a comedy. One of my favorite comedies of all time would be Step Brothers. That's a great movie, and that's not a horror movie. So, you know, stuff like that. All right. I think, hold on. I think I got a lot of you guys' questions. I tried to just keep it down to one per person. Share Riot Acts. Shay Riot Acts has a question. It says, can you think of a story that happened to you to be enlightened by Satan? And yes, I can remember the day that I honestly felt Satan in my heart. And I was very young. I was like maybe 7 or 8 years old. And I saw the image. The first time I ever saw like a pentagram, like a real pentagram in the fucking, it wasn't in a circle. It was in a square thing. And fucking, I forget why it was. It was in a different symbol, but I definitely knew it was. I definitely knew what it was. And I was very attracted to this symbol. And I didn't really understand what it was until later on in life, but I was always attracted to that symbol, the symbol of the pentagram encircled and around the, those different symbols. But yes, I was always been attracted to the pentagram, and I could never understand why, but I knew it wasn't holy, let's put it that way. And that's what kind of, I've always felt that way ever since I was a kid. And then later on I got to understand what it was, and here we are now. So yes, that's how it all started. All right, Josh 5180 has a great question. Why did you try to join the Church of Satan, Anton LaCringe? And I never tried to join the Church of Satan, Josh. I never really tried to join any sort of organization. When it comes to that kind of stuff, Josh, I do my own thing. And that's how it basically should be. Is you find what works for you, and you find what you like, and you utilize that. No real rules, There's no real rules to follow. So, there you go. Hope that answers your question, Josh. Well, anyway, I'm going to shut this shit down because I want to go eat because I'm fucking hungry. So, yeah. So, I'm going to see you guys next Sunday. Like I said, that'll be the plan. Cole Myers brought up a great idea, and I'm going to share it with you guys. I'm going to go through my collection of Goatwhore shirts since, Goatwhore's inception. So we're going to bust that out next week. Show off some freaking shirts. You guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys next weekend.